Hi, you're joining me, Ashley King, a podcast enthusiast who loves to chat. I run a studio called Flamingo Heights Podcast Studio in the Oosburn, Newcastle upon Tyne. We specialise in audio and video podcasts, and we're passionate about helping people to bring their stories to life. You're listening to our pop-up podcast recorded at the North East Business Expo, hosted by Fresh Events in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce Northeast. It was a super busy day and we got to chat to lots of small businesses and individuals about the work they do and why it matters. By the way, these guests have had no media training or preparation. It was a very spontaneous thing to do on the day, recorded in a very noisy space. We hope that these recordings show that with a little support and the magic of editing, any story can come to life. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. So, great to see you, Jo. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, we've got 5 minutes, and in that 5 minutes, I want you to tell me all about Wonder Films. What do you want to tell us?
Wonder is a brand agency based down in Teesside. Cover throughout the UK. We do everything from social, web, videography. It's a fantastic story set up by 2 girls 6 years ago with a broken GoPro, and now here we are 6 years later where we are. Chloe's on the Forbes Under 30. We've just won the BBC Small Indie Fund. They were told that they needed to go down to London, leave the area if they wanted to succeed. They didn't. They did it on home turf. They brought through homegrown talent. It's just an absolutely gorgeous story for the North East. So.
I'm really excited about them. As you know, I've got a big business crush on Chloe and Lou. I love what they're doing and I really feel inspired by them. Tell us a bit more about the BBC, what you can.
I can. They won't tell me lots because I can't keep a secret. So we've got 6 inserts on BBC Morning Live, which is fantastic. So what you see on the morning when you're watching the TV, there'll be some inserts. I know one of them, I don't know whether I'm allowed to say it, it's a really interesting outdoor pursuit. Maybe that's all I can say. And then in a couple of months' time, we're also in talks about a documentary on the primetime BBC. So, but I can't tell you anymore, and they don't tell me because, like I said, I can't keep a secret. So, but that's what we're doing. But to give you some more insight, and then last month, one of our junior members of the team, her visual effects were used on Jordan North's vaping programme, which is amazing. She's only 18, and her visual effects were on a primetime BBC programme. So it's just so lovely to hear good news about Middlesbrough, Teesside, the North East, rather than all the negative news you hear.
Absolutely. Well, I'm super excited about that because I know one of your passions is to inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
You want to leave a legacy, and you're excited about what Wonder's doing for not just Teesside but the North, right?
Yeah. As soon as I walked through the door and I saw that like the youngest member of the team's 18 and there's me at the top end at 53, but I looked around the room and I looked at like the apprentices who've come in like 6 years later now. One of them's head of production, one heads up the editing team, and when the apprentices come in, they don't come in to make tea, they come in to get the visual effects on BBC. So that's the type of thing they do, and it's really, really inspiring to see that from a young person's point of view. When you think of film, TV, creativity, you don't always have to think of London. And when you go to a business club meeting, it doesn't have to always be middle-aged men in suits. That's not the world we live in anymore. The Gen Zs and the millennials are taking over.
They are, and they've got a lot to offer, and I think it's a really topical conversation at the moment, but I'm really excited to see what our next generations have to offer. So I have one quick question for you. Now, you work in the industry, so you'll be able to bust these, but I have a question. If you can tell me, is this myth or fact? If you want to have a podcast, you want to be famous?
I would say that's a myth, because if you want to have a podcast, it's just because you want to share some knowledge, some information. For me, a podcast, if people want to listen to me, fantastic. But if I've got some knowledge I want to share and it's going to help somebody, I'm going to do it. And that's what I think.
I think that's a great answer. We always get this question in training. You know, if you want to start a podcast, you want to have a big profile, or you have to have a big profile. But actually, it's about speaking to the people that you want to talk to, and you can build such an amazing audience with an audio video podcast that really want to hear what you're passionate about. So we agree. It's a myth. You don't have to want to be famous to start a podcast.
No.
Yeah, it's just about your interest. Well, thanks so much, Jo. It's
Thank
great
you.
to have you on. I love our clothes. I love how they clash and match.
Yes, I do.
And I love how they blend.
I do. Have a fabulous day because this is so bright. You're going to have such a lovely day here.
Thank you. Take care. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this content today and you feel inspired to start a podcast, reach out to us at hello@flamingoheights.co.uk. We can't wait to help you get your idea started.